racial hatred is real, and it is humanizing to be able to resist it with militant rage. And that's the humanizing part is what I want to focus on in that quote when it comes to this subject-object setup that gets programmed into our heads, is she's saying that she's implying that when you make someone the object, the other, it dehumanizes them, makes them less than human in your eyes. And so to make everyone the subject equally, on a journey equally, that makes, that's humanizing. She said it's humanizing to be able to resist, to say, I demand to be a subject on an equal footing with you. That is humanizing. If you think about it, the Nazis, one of the things they did was dehumanize Jewish people, made them the extreme objects. The Nazis said, we're the original people. We come from the earth, or whatever their weird cult was. They say, we're the original people, and everybody else, especially those Jewish people, they are the other. They are the object to us. And they took it to such an extreme that they dehumanized them to the point where it was easier to just exterminate them, even though they were human beings. So this subject-object split, it could have some major ramifications, and it has in history before, and it's something we need to be aware of. Now, in case you hadn't realized it, all of what I just did is literary criticism. Yay! This is the kind of stuff we've been talking about, remember? I use the themes and the language of the stories to delve into some things about humanity and my own thoughts and reactions. Now, see, if I pay attention, I notice what values and ideas come to my mind in the reaction to those stories. Here's a wrinkle. Sometimes, especially in nonfiction, the artist or the writer, etc., does literary criticism in their own writing. For instance, Hooks does some literary criticism by talking about certain books and pieces of writing and theorizing about how they apply to the subject she is writing about. That is literary criticism, literary theory. For instance, when she referred to a Toni Morrison book, like I mentioned earlier, The Bluest Eye, and some of the other books she refers to, as well as some of the words of some people that she was talking about, Malcolm X, and she's doing what we do in this class, using the works and words of others to theorize and to derive meaning and to think about things and to develop ideas. Speaking of literary criticism, let's do some quickly. How about a feminist reading? How much of the stuff that happens in these stories is because the characters are women? Notice that Endangered Species begins with the narrator considering life as a black woman while she does what? She does a traditionally woman's job. I'm saying, I put it in quotes because that's not what I believe, but in tradition, who does the cooking on the frontier or whatever, and who, get in the kitchen. It's women, of course. So here she's thinking about all this stuff about being black in America while she's doing a woman's chore. And here's a quote from Gay. From her essay. Feminists are regularly characterized as angry. At many events where I am speaking about feminism, young women ask how they can comport, that means compose themselves, so they aren't perceived as angry while they practice their feminism. They ask this question as if anger is an unreasonable emotion when considering the inequalities, challenges, violence, and oppression women the world over face. So when these people come up and ask her these questions, she's doing literary theory essentially on them to derive meaning from their words and to theorize. And she's saying, the fact that they even ask this question, she unpacks why they asked the question and reacts to it. She's doing her own literary theory there, and it's of a feminist nature. I would like to recommend an article to you. I was going to cover it in the video, but it's just too much. I want you to read it. So this article further explains this concept, where we can have these subconscious cues in us, both good and bad. There's science behind this. Unconscious bias and deep-seated prejudices that are on autopilot have been studied extensively, and scientists do some very interesting and clever experiments to demonstrate the psyche's tendency to internalize, to put inside, all these destructive and anti-human notions. We internalize every assumption and belief we have, even the good and neutral ones, remember? So why would we not be also inclined to internalize the bad and the harmful ones? There's science behind this. So please check this article out. It's interesting, and it's not going to try to make you feel bad or convince you of anything. Actually, it's a very positive article because it talks about ways you can use this knowledge. We can use this knowledge as a society to make the world a better place for everyone. So it's a very uplifting, positive article. It's not a feel-bad article. All right, if you want to discuss the article, let me know. I would love to discuss it with you. But until next time, have a great day.